Welcome my Beatles friends, welcome to the new video. Good to see you all. I'm very happy that you liked my flea market video which I uploaded yesterday. And also yesterday I wanted to upload the third video in press review series. But unfortunately I mixed up the microphone, messed it, and half of the video was without a microphone, so it was mute. So now I'm refilming this video all over again. Okay? Before I start, there is one little comment that I would like to tell about my previous video with the Beatles. One of my viewers, first of all, thank you very much for watching my videos. He said that in one of the German pressings, on stereo pressing, the song All My Loving is a little bit different. It has 2 seconds of a beat before it starts. I know that, and also that song appears on the Beatles' greatest compilation. But why I didn't mention that, because in that line of videos I'm not talking about the songs, I'm not making the review of the songs and the albums. All I'm talking about is how it looks like, the front cover, the back cover, the label, and how it sounds in general. So this little information is not essential for these videos. Otherwise I would have to be talking about 3 versions of Love Me Do and multiple versions of Don't Let Me Down and Let It Be, and so on. It will be endless. So in this series of videos I'm not talking about the differences in the songs. I'm talking about the issue of the album. When I will finish this line of videos, I will go to the review of the albums. Okay, so this is there to respect my viewer and his opinion, which I do respect, and thank you very much for watching. So here we go. Let's talk about the different pressings of A Hard Day's Night album. I have 8 copies. Let's see what they are. This is a British mono copy, variation 1. This is British mono copy, variation 2. This is American United Artists soundtrack album, released in 1978, a reissue. Then we have Hungarian reissue of 1981 from Hungary. Then we have a German reissue, second press from 1960s, a German. And we have 3 versions from Soviet Union. This one is from Riga, which today is Latvia. This is from Tbilisi, Georgia, my hometown. And this, a double vinyl, a gatefold, is from Moscow, Russia. So let's go to the GoPro mode and see in detail what is the differences between the albums. Here we go. So we are starting from A Hard Day's Night mono first pressing from United Kingdom. This is a normal standard cover. Like usual, we have here the Parlophone logo. Here is written mono. It's overall in a very good condition. Here we have flips on the back side. The front cover is laminated, the back cover is not laminated. Here we have the catalog number. Here we have made by Gardner Lofthouse, patent pending. Some sleeve notes, and here we have the song listing. So it's a normal standard UK cover. Look at the vinyl. So the vinyls of UK pressings have a little difference. So first of all, let me show you the cover of the second one, which is completely identical. There are no differences at all. But the vinyls differ. We will see one of them is the first pressing and the other one is a second pressing. So let's compare these two twins.
So, first of all, we take this one. Heavy, good quality vinyl. We look at the label. So first of all, what we see in comparison to the first two vinyls, we see here sold in UK. The text is across the label. So this is the 1964 pressing. Here we have Parlophone, and we see the catalog number is with I don't know the name of the font, but the font is very thick and fat. So the letters look round. So this is the indication that this is the first pressing. Other than that, there are no big differences. We have here text code KT embossed in the center, and that's it. Now if you look at the second vinyl, we're gonna see exactly the same KT text embossed in the center, and we have sold in UK, Parlophone here. But if you look at the font here, the font is different. I'm not sure, but one of them is called Times New Roman and the other one I forgot the name, so write me in the comment section below which what is the name of the font. But here you can clearly see that the font is absolutely different, no comparison to this one. So the vinyls that have this kind of font, this is a second pressing. Well, I would say first pressing variation 2. And one with the fat font, it's first pressing variation 1. Okay. So that was the UK vinyls. As you can see, I have a very old inner sleeves. So let's look at the German vinyl. This is the red colored, the Beatles Yeah Yeah Yeah. That's the name of the vinyl. Hard Day's Night, originals from the United Artists picture. That's how it looks, the German. Now, this exactly the same cover, exactly the same vinyl comes from the 1970s from the blue box. But this one is not from the blue box. It has the catalog number 1C062. 062 is the identification that it's coming from the 60s. Like I said in my previous video, the code 072 is the identification that is coming from the box. So this is the 60s pressing. This is the fully laminated cover, and it differs from the original with the color and with the above text is on Odeon label, EMI Odeon label. The flips are gone from the back. It's also laminated on the back. And here we have the similar design but different pictures. And here we see 1C062. So this is not coming from the box, but looks absolutely identical to the one that is in the box. I mean, the one that is in the box looks identical to this one. So let's look at the vinyl. The vinyl comes on blue EMI label, exactly that it is in the box, but once again this is not from the box because we see here 062. In the box it should be 072. So we have here text made in Germany, stereo, gamma. So I have two UK monos, and this is the first stereo, EMI Odeon. So everything looks understandable, everything looks easy. On the second side we have the same, and the album's name is Yeah Yeah Yeah, and in the bottom here it says the Beatles. So it's in a very good quality, but it's not as thick as the British pressings. Okay. Now we are looking at the American one. Let me take it out of the shrink. I have some Americans, but this is not the original American. This is the reissue of the 70s. Completely different cover. We see only the eyes and the head. Original motion picture soundtrack, The Beatles' Hard Day's Night on Capitol. But originally it was released on United Artists. But this is the Capitol reissue. These are the pictures, just like you feature on the on my poster, on the thumbnail. Musical director George Martin. And what I do not like about this album, that we have here 4 instrumentals. So that's how it looks like. Just like it says here, selections contained herein have been previously released by Capitol Records or United Artists Records. So this is a reissue, this is not the original, this is a reissue from the 70s. And if we look at the label, this is on purple reissue label. So it says here once again, Capitol, Hard Day's Night, the original motion picture soundtrack. This is the catalog number, this is the name of the songs, the right societies, text of the rights, the ownership. And that's how looks the label. Okay, so we covered the UK pressing, we covered the German pressing and American pressing. Now we're gonna go to the Eastern Europe, and here we have a Hard Day's Night album from Hungary. What's very distinctive difference on the Hungarian pressings is that if you look at the spine here, you will notice this kind of flat part of the spine. It's easy to spot here. You see, here it is spine and here it is flat. So this is the feature that was on the Czechoslovakian and Hungarian albums. This is very, very rare to find. This is one of the rarest copies that I have. And this, how it looks like, is the copy of the original, the British one. But of course it has some differences, no flaps here, the catalog number is stereo, the pictures are the same, fully laminated, but they keep the original design. It's a logo here, and here instead of stereo mono we have Pepita. So this is the Hungarian label, which is called Pepita. So it's very unique and very rare to find nowadays, especially with this kind of spine. Let's look at the label. A very strange and very distinct label. Actually, I bought this vinyl together with the Beatles Czechoslovakian when I was traveling in my Eastern Europe countries. So we have here the name of the label, Pepita, sorry, I'm always mistaken, Pepita. Here is made in Hungary, 1981. And here is some text in Hungarian, which I do not understand. And here is the catalog number and the total playing time. And here it says that it's from the movie, something like that. I'm not sure. Any Hungarian people out there, please help me in the comment section below. Here it's written manufactured in Hungary under license from EMI Records. Unauthorized copying of this record is prohibited, made in Hungary. I mean, all the standard information, but orange, unique, distinct pressing. And what we see here, that we have here 6 songs, and the groove is here huge, which I think will affect the sound. And here also we have a big groove, and the vinyl is not so strong, it's a bit flimsy. Okay, so we discuss the sound a little bit later. And now we go to the 1, 2, 3 versions from Soviet Union. Now, these are coming from the same company, which is called Melodia. This is the Soviet Union company that existed until 1997, I believe, or until 1991, I'm not sure. But I know that the last factory that was working in Soviet Union pressed its last vinyls in 1997. So, this particular copy that I'm holding, this is the first vinyl that I ever got in my life. My mother bought it to me for when I was 7 years old, as you can see by the condition. It's absolutely used and killed. So here is the blue background with the pictures here. And what I also have to mention, that all the Soviet pressings have 12 songs. They do not have 13 songs. The song When I Get Home was omitted. So here we have a catalog number and the price. Here we have the manufacturer's city, Tbilisi, which is the capital of Georgia, and here it says manufactured and license of EMI Records, Great Britain. So this is the official product, and here we have DMM logo. So the names of the songs are in Russian, and this is the cover. Now let's look at the vinyl. The vinyl comes here on the red Melodia label, and it says here Tbilisi, Studio of Tbilisi. So each vinyl was made in different republic of Soviet Union, and also it is mentioned also on the cover and also on the label. Well, the labels in Soviet Union varied. There are many different labels. And here it says the number, catalog number, the year when it was released. Here is the information. Here is a stereo. This is the logo of the company, and this is the speed, and this is the catalog number. So all the standard information. And here it's the flip side. So this is the production of Georgian factory from Tbilisi. Now we go to the production of the country which is called Latvia. As you can see directly, the colors are different. We don't have a brown strip above, and the blue is light blue. I mean, the only republic in Soviet Union that pressed the original blue color is Georgia. All the others, Ukraine, Latvia, Moscow, Leningrad, they pressed it on this light blue color. Also here we see the same information, but here we see the other price, the catalog number. Here it says Rishski, so it means it's Riga, it's Latvia. And here we have the same information, same logo. I mean, everything is the same. And also sometimes this credit of the cover design, sometimes it's omitted. Yeah. As you can see here in Georgian, there is no name of the cover designer. And here on the Latvian one, we do have the name of the designer. So this is how it looks like, the Latvian one. And if we look at the label, we can see almost the same label, but we do not have here the black line. And the name of the factory is a little bit smaller, and all the text is smaller, but we do still have here the catalog number, and we can see here 80. But on the Georgian one, let me go back to Georgian one. Here we see 88. This is the indication of the year when it was released. If it's 88, that means it was released after 87. But the one that says here 80, which means it was released before 1987. So this is the indication of the year of the release. Okay, so pretty much everything is the same. All the names are in Russian and the name of the members of the band. And once again, like I said before, there is no song which is called When I Get Home. And here is the most interesting one. This is from Moscow. Now this is the special issue because it is a gatefold. It's a double. And you can see here we have 4 pictures here and the 4 pictures here, and we have side the side 1, side 2, side 3, side 4. Now what it is? In Soviet Union there were released 2 official albums. This is the Hard Day's Night and the compilation which is called A Taste of Honey. And only once in 1986 or 87, I don't remember exactly, they released both of them in a gatefold double album. Okay, so that's the gatefold. And what's interesting here, that the pictures are mirrored. That's interesting. And we don't have here the credits. Here we have the price, and here we have Aprelevsky, which is Moscow, and the same in the logo of DMM. Everything is the same, although we don't have the text here and the pictures are mirrored. Now let's look at the labels. Now the Moscow label of A Hard Day's Night is white. And here we have 80, which means it was released before 1987. That means it was released in 1986. Here we have the catalog number. Here we have all the information. Here we have Aprelevsky, which means that it is from Russia. And here is the same. So this is the label of A Hard Day's Night. So since I'm showing you this edition, I want to show you also the A Taste of Honey, because it is inside this packaging. And the twin brother looks like this. This is on red. Once again, 1980 here, so it is number 80 here, so it is not before 1987, which is Aprelevsky, which is also from Moscow. And this is the line here we have, the speed, the catalog number, the information. So that's how it looks like. This version was pressed only once in 1987 or 86. Once again, I'm not really sure. I don't want to be mistaken. But this gatefold version of A Hard Day's Night is one of the most hardest to find. Also in Russia, it was very difficult to find it because it was sold out. And I was fortunate enough to get only one copy of this. And also not in the best condition. As you can see, the colors are also light blue because it was made in Moscow. So let's go back to the normal mode and talk about the sound of it.
Okay, so now let's talk about the most important, the sound. I made notes and I will be reading. Now, once again, I put my stereo on the highest volume of subwoofer and highest volume possible. And I don't touch it. And I've listened to all the 8 albums. And what I want to say, in general, I have no complaints, in general. But there are some differences. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about UK mono first pressing. The sound is clean, very clean. A little bit background noise, but I believe it comes from the age wear, not because of the album. Otherwise, no complaints. It's very loud. High frequencies are clearly hearable. You can hear them very clearly. It's the sound is centered. The voice is centered. The subwoofer and the basses a little bit are cut. You don't hear the bass as you want it to hear. Okay, so no complaints about this one. I give it 9 out of 10. Then we talk about UK mono second press. Once again, the same as the previous one. The bass is clear. Subwoofer is a little bit missing. You have to make it higher. You don't hear the bass as you wanted to hear it. It's clear. It's a little bit background noise, but once again, it comes from the age wear, not because of the vinyl. High frequency, you can hear them very, very loud. I had to put the volume a little bit lower because it was too loud. It's very clear. And once again, no complaints about this pressing. I give it 9 out of 10. Maybe 10 out of 10, but my copy is a little bit wear, so I give it 9 out of 10 to be fair. German is stereo. No background noise. Voice is centered. The bass is very clearly, you can hear it. High frequencies a little bit subdued, a little bit cut. It's not as loud as the UK. But once again, no complaints. Sounds wonderful. I give it 9 out of 10. Then we go to the Hungarian pressing, stereo. It's in a mint condition, but still you hear the background noise. The vinyl itself is not as thick as the 3 previous ones. It's flimsy. It's loud, it's centered. The subs are okay, which I was surprised to hear that. The subs are okay, you can hear the bass. But once again, it's not as loud. it's a little bit quieter. I'm talking about the high frequency. It's not as high as the UK pressings. In this matter, as high frequencies, the highest frequencies, the loudest, UK pressings are the best in that point of view. Then we come to the number 5, which is a soundtrack. It's a repress of 1977 as you saw it on Purple Capitol. No background noise, centered, is very good. High frequencies are okay, and what I was surprised, I heard the basses. I mean, I had to lower the subwoofer because it was too boom boom boom. Okay, so I was pleasantly surprised. I give it 10 out of 10. Okay, just because it's had no background noise and it's in a mint condition. You know, to be fair. Now, USSR, I give it not more than 8 out of 10 directly because one song is missing. But as the point of view of sound, once again, the subwoofer and the basses are a little bit missing, subdued. For high frequency, okay, but not as loud as the UK pressing. The voice is centered. What's interesting about all my Hard Day's Night albums, that the voice is always centered. I don't hear it either from left or right. I hear them from the both, which I liked very much. Okay, then USSR clean, no background noise, which is very good, but not as loud as the UK ones. High frequencies are missing. So I give it 8 out of 10. So the best copies that I do have, it's American repress of soundtrack and the 2 UKs. Then I would go to number 3, I would go to German stereo because high frequencies are a little bit missing. Okay, when I put the UK one, I heard it, and then I put the German one, I heard it immediately that it's a bit quieter, not as loud as UK. I mean, I had a very clear comparison. The UK one just hit me in my ears, and the German is just loud. Okay, so I put it on number 3 in my ranking, and number 4 I would put the Hungarian one, and the last I would use the USSRs, because USSR's one song is missing. When I Get Home is missing. I mean, as you saw it on the label, there is a very wide groove, but still the song is missing. The problem is not because of the space. The problem is because of the permission to use that song. So something that between EMI and Melodia. Okay, so in general, I have no complaints. All copies are okay. I have nothing to say about the sound. I mean, sound is very good. So you can easily go to German, or you can easily go to UK pressing. You will be satisfied. And yeah, German stereo is. I mean, if we're talking about proper album, German stereo is number 2. But because US soundtrack album is not a proper album, it's a movie soundtrack. So if we put it aside, is not in a competition, then I would go to UK monos on the first, and then I would go to German stereo is number 2. Okay, so this is my short review of my albums. I mean, I try to keep it as simple as possible. I try to make it as easy as possible, because there is no serious issue that has to be mentioned. All albums sound great and all albums are good, and yeah, nothing to say more. One more thing I would like to say, that the song I'll Cry Instead on normal length is 1 minute and 50 seconds. But on the soundtrack album, US soundtrack album, the song I'll Cry Instead has one additional verse, which means it's 13 seconds longer. Now, if you also have the album which is called Something New, the song is also long. So, if you do have the American soundtrack or Something New, you have I'll Cry Instead one verse longer, which is 13 seconds. Okay, so this I say to respect the previous viewer and his comment about all my loving song, but generally I do not want to talk about the differences in the songs in these videos. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for the next videos. I think that Beatles for Sale will be coming by the end of this week. I try to make it on Saturday, but I'm not sure. I'll keep you updated. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and see you in my next videos. If you're a new subscriber to my video, please subscribe, hit the bell, write a comment, hit the like. Anything you want, everything is welcome. Goodbye, my Beatles friends.